Yo, what's up, guys? It's Vorted. I play FFA all day, every day, except for today, because today we're going to be reacting to Pined'S video. As you know, Pined, he's a great free-for-all sniper. He has been sniping for many, many years with controller, but now he's making the switch to mouse and keyboard. So we're going to watch his first game. Maybe not the whole thing. Maybe we'll just break up some parts and talk about some ideas and give him some tips and see if he can improve from that. I will say he's already better than I was when I first started playing mouse and keyboard, so he's got that going for him. So if he practices as much as I did, or if he just keeps up the grind, he's gonna be a menace even more than he was already on free for all. So we're gonna just jump into his video and see if we can give him some tips. All right, so I mean, his intro, he's just saying he's on mouse and keyboard, and then he shows off his gun and his class. All the normal stuff. Let's just get into the gameplay though. All right, so here he is. He's in Lowtown, and it looks like he's got the frost line with the 3x. And let's just critique some stuff. Okay. No, I'm not gonna be sliding him or whatever. It's like this is all constructive feedback, and you know, he's just gonna keep practicing every day, and he's gonna become an absolute menace on free-for-all with mouse and keyboard. But I'm just gonna point out some things that I see, and if he wants to take advice, that's up to him. So right here, so as you see right there, so he turned too much and he ran into the wall, right? So, you know, no one's perfect, of course. You're not gonna always make a perfect turn, but this is what happens when a new player is playing mouse and keyboard, or a player has their sense too high. So since he's new, he hasn't developed the muscle memory yet, and that's totally fine. And these things will happen, like he's gonna overturn or he's gonna underturn to go around corners and maneuver through the map, right? So that's just a simple critique. But like if an experienced mouse player was doing this, then I would say, you know, definitely change your sense to either make it a lower sense or a higher sense, depending on, you know, how he's running into the walls, right? And like I said, no one's perfect. I've run into the walls too, trying to go for clips and just, you know, anyway, but right there, just a little too overturned and he ran into the wall. So we'll keep going.
He'll get there.
Oh yeah, and I'm in the Discord call when he was making this, so you'll hear my voice. His voice is a lot quieter because of his audio settings, and mine's like really loud, so hopefully you can hear him sometimes. But I will say right there when he's kind of just moving around, right here, this is great centering. Like you wanna keep your centering like where you think someone will be. I mean, that's just how it is. Like with sniping, you know, you need to be quick once you see someone, because you won't have much time, because they're going to see you and they're going to destroy you. So you kind of always want to be as like lined up as possible on the certain spots that people might show up, right? So this is great centering. And then he saw the guy. I mean, he's kind of just messing around right here. So, but like, so right here, I mean, it's still fine. Someone could slide around and he's ready for it, but you know, I would be looking up here mainly because there's more of a spawn up here. I don't want to get too critical, but it's like, try to keep your centering like always where you think someone's going to be, just so you're that much more prepared to snipe them. Okay, so right there as well. So he turned. Yeah. So he's good right there. So then he turned, and you see how his mouse movement stops and it's just aiming this way, and then he moves again. So let's watch it in fluid motion. So right there. So, and more experience, and like I said, he's gonna learn all this and it's gonna be great. But just, you should know how much to turn your mouse to then do a 180 like he did to go look this way, right? So just that little like 90-degree turn, and then he had to do it again in a gunfight when someone's shooting you in the back, you're gonna die 100% of the time. Whereas if you can get that 180 down, just always know how far to move the mouse to do a 180, then you'll be able to maybe counter that attack.
He'll get there. You're gonna look back on this video and you're gonna be like, wow, I was really bad, but look how good I am now.
True. Yeah. He's gonna look back on this video in like a year when we're playing Black Ops 7 and he's gonna be a demon with mouse and keyboard and he's like, oh my gosh, look how bad I was. But we all start somewhere and this is a great journey for him. that was good though, right there. Like, I mean, he got shot at and he just instantly centered his aim, which is perfect, and he was about to kill the guy, but obviously he was getting shot at first, so he ended up dying. But like, that was a good like reactive response right to the correct spot and was zooming in like perfect.
Two kills so far.
Another perfect one. I mean, obviously the guy's close and running right at him, but it's he's going up. Like, I don't know why he's looking over here, right? So, I mean, I know he's trying to get used to the feel of the mouse and all that, but like, no one's going to be over there. So kind of always just be gravitating your aiming at the two barrels or left, you know, right? So, but like, so he's aiming right here and you see the guy, but if he was already aiming at the barrels, he could have been that much quicker and that could have saved him because this guy could have seen him first and shot him. So, but this is a great little snap right to where he's gonna be, and then just a nice quick scope. Pretty good. I mean, once again, yeah, he was looking where he needed to be, just missed the shot. It's totally fine. That was gonna be another good one. He was aiming directly on the guy and just ended up dying. Okay, so this is the hardest part with mouse and keyboard and finding your. I'm glad he had this in here, because everyone has gone through this at some point with their mouse and keyboard. So we'll just break it down real quick. So he sees the guy. See, notice how he's aiming in and he's behind the guy, right? So when the guy's moving forward, he's gonna have to snap to the left a little bit, right? And so when he zooms in, he realizes he's off target, which is totally fine, but then he oversnaps, right? So it's like a little too much. But once again, he'll learn this. But then he's like, okay. And he zooms in again. And he's to the right of again. And he needs to snap left. And as you see, it like barely goes left, right? So this is the hardest part is you have one that you like over snap. So your sense is too high. And then you have one that you under snap. And then so it's like, oh, is my sense too low? And so this is a constant struggle that a lot of us keyboard and mouse snipers have. I know I have it all the time. But this is just one of those things you got to either deal with or you have to analyze and say, let me record a game and let me look at every time I start zooming in, where am I and do I oversnap or undersnap? So that's what I used to do in Modern Warfare 3 when I was having issues with my sensitivity. I would write down in a big Excel, I would say, are they close to me? Are they medium or are they far? And then did I snap too much, too little, or good? And then I would break that gameplay down every time I would zoom in, and then I would either oversnap or undersnap. I would write that down, and if it was medium range or far, and I would do that a couple times to see, am I oversnapping 80% of the time, or is it 50-50, or is it only 10% of the time I'm oversnapping and 90% time I'm undersnapping and I need to raise my sense, right? So these are the things you just need to keep in mind when you become more and more skilled at the mouse and keyboard. And anyway, that's a lot of talking. We're gonna keep going.
Not too bad.
Okay. So, I mean, it's a common theme. This is totally fine, and like I said, I don't mean to critique too much. But it's more of just you want to know where you're going to be aiming, right? So he's aiming right here, right? So no one's gonna be coming right there, right? They're either gonna be on the barrels or they're gonna be on the boats, on the left side of the boat. So it's like you either start looking at the barrel and then maybe aim to the left or the barrel or whatever. So right here, he's aiming at these boxes where if he was aiming at the barrels, he would have had a better chance to kill this guy, right? So just little things like that. Like, so it's so much easier to aim. This is like the last main thing I'll say, and then we'll kind of just keep watching and not pause as much. It's much easier to aim on mouse and keyboard at key points that you want to look at instead of a controller. A controller, you can only use your thumb, and it might not be perfect, and you can't snap as hard because your sense is not as fast or whatever. But with mouse and keyboard, you have the ability to, like, I want to be looking there, now I want to look over there, now I want to look there. And you have this, like, you know, you can snap to these targets really fast, and you can, like, make sure you're covering all angles, right? And so that's the main thing he should work on, is just trying to know. I mean, he already knows where all the hotspots is, right? He's a great free-for-all player. It's just on mouse and keyboard, I know it's a different experience, but kind of just always want to be constantly aiming at these hotspots all the time. I mean, don't look anywhere else that someone might not be, because we don't have that much time to get the kill, because it takes 4 bullets for them and they have aim assist and all that stuff. So we'll keep going. That was good. It's okay, that guy was jumping. It's a tough shot. He's dolphin diving. Yeah, maybe hitting the wrong button. Okay, see how his... Okay, it's interesting. So he's trying to use his A and D keys more than moving his mouse to direct where he wants to go, right? So as you see here, he's like on the left side of the door, then he goes to the right side of the door, then he goes to the left side of the door, and then he's able to go through. So once again, he'll learn this. Most of the time, I am using just W, holding W, and using my aiming to dictate where I want to go. Now, of course, sometimes I want to strafe more left, or I want to strafe left and back. More advanced movements, that's fine. But for basic stuff, going through doors, going around hallways, most of the time you want to just be pushing W and then aiming with your aimer of where you want to go, right? And so once again, it happens right here. So he just strafes too far to the right, and then again, and then runs into the wall, and then strafes and strafes, right? So totally fine, he'll get it. But yeah, the movement, especially with this game, Omni movement has the crazy sprinting sideways and backwards and forwards. You're gonna be missing those doors like he did if you're just trying to push A and D to try to go through the door, right? So just always be moving your mouse, knowing where you want to go, and most of the time it's W. So okay, so right there he was just saying that if my movement's a little weird or my aiming's a little weird, he's using a wired mouse, like one of the cheaper or older wired mouse. And that might be the reason for one of those where I thought he was going to turn a 180 degree. He only did 90, and then he did 180 and I did another 90. So that could be why, because he's on a wired one, he can't snap it as far, right? So he is getting a wireless one, the same one that I have right here. And it will be much better with that one for sure. And so that's kind of just, yeah, leads to some of his maybe mismovements or whatever. So I've watched, a couple minutes without talking. I'm probably not going to put it in the video, but what I've noticed is he doesn't slide very much, right? So Black Ops 6 is very heavy on sliding. You have to be sliding around. You have to be double sliding around. You have to be able to try to break their aim assist, because these guys, when you're playing in the top of the lobbies with skill-based matchmaking, their aim assist is just too strong, and you either need to be hitting your shot exactly perfect every time, or you need to be good movement, dodging, sliding, slide into prone, slide into, whatever. And so I'm noticing a lot of just running around, trying to quick scope, and that's fine because he hasn't tried to adapt sliding into his gameplay yet, but he will, because it's definitely a crutch. Like, you'll see my clips, if you watch any of my videos or clips, almost every time after I shoot, I slide, right? So if I shoot and I get the guy, totally good, I slide, I'm ready for the next one. If I shoot and miss the guy, I'm already sliding, and it might be harder for him to hit me, and then therefore I have another chance. But if I just am walking or sprinting, and then I am stopping to shoot, and then I'm trying to recenter my aim, I'm kind of just standing still. I'm not, you know, I'm gonna lose. I'm an easy target. So always be sliding. Like I pair sliding to my mouse button, and so every time, every time we just go back like that. But every time I'm like shooting and slide, shoot, slide, shoot, slide, and then you can double slide. You can slide, slide. You're just like, it's like ice skating. So he's got to get that movement down, and then he'll be not dying as much to these people and a bigger threat. All right, so he only ended up getting 12 kills, and that's totally fine. I would have had less when I first started. When I first started, I did a lot of aim training before I even played, because I was like, oh no, I'm good on controller. Now I'm going to be so bad on keyboard. I need to just spend so much time practicing. And so I spent a lot of time on aim labs. And then I was incorporating that into my earlier games. And you can go look at my TikToks and YouTubes that I made, and you can definitely see an improvement of the games I was playing. So, but 12 kills, 6th place, it's okay. He'll definitely keep practicing. He'll get really good. But yeah, those key points I mentioned, I'll just briefly touch on them again. The first one is like, you just more and more practice on that same sense. But if you're feeling that sense is too fast, always go lower. It's much harder to control a faster sense than it is a slower sense. So if you're turning too much and you're going into a wall, or you're over snapping on everyone, just turn your sense down, keep going down until it's really feels too slow. Like, oh my gosh, like I can't even turn this corner. I'm like whipping my mouse so much. So just keep your sense lower, and then move it up as needed, right? And then I will say, don't use the A and D keys as much right now. Kind of always just be holding W and aiming walking wise with your mouse, right? Now, if you have to go 90 degrees to the left, then yes, push A. But for the most part, you can kind of just get around by holding W and moving with your mouse to move. And then the other key thing is incorporate sliding into your game. I watched this gameplay, and I think he slid maybe once, maybe twice in a 7-minute gameplay. So I slide at least like every 2 seconds. I'm sliding. Sliding gives you a little speed boost as well. So I'm sliding to get to the next part or the next spot. If I spawned out, whatever, I'm sliding, slide, sliding left, sliding right, sliding back, sliding into dive, sliding. Everything is slide in this game. So just constantly be sliding. Maybe it doesn't look as good for clips. I don't care. I win games by sliding and making people miss, because I'm sliding. So just slide more, Pine. Just slide. But that was basically this video. 0.38 ratio is not great, but he'll get there. Trust me, he'll get there.
Oh god.
And I wanted to know his accuracy.
What's your accuracy?
I was second to last.
So it's unfortunate his accuracy glitched. Like most of the time it shows your accuracy, and this would have been another thing of where you're trying to get to. You can kind of benchmark and be like, oh, this first game I was on, I had 20% accuracy. I played for a few days. Now I'm getting 35% accuracy. Now I'm getting 40. The good free-for-all snipers, or the good snipers in general, they're hitting in the 60s accuracy. And you'd think it would be higher, but 60% and higher is very good for accuracy, especially with the Omni movement that is happening on this game. So 60% is like the top of the line goal you want to hit. But anyway, so I know it's been a long video. I rambled a lot. Hopefully Pine is not too mad at me. I was trying to just be constructive with my feedback, and hopefully this might have been interesting to some of you as well. Hopefully maybe you can learn from this if you're trying to switch to mouse and keyboard, or just learn from this in general. But anyway, leave a comment. Let me know how I did. Leave a like on this video if you want more games analyzed by other players, or myself even. I can analyze my own games and try to tell you what I was thinking during games. But anyway, leave a like. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.